Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Where's Tony?
Right there.
Hello, Tony.
Yeah.
Howdy.
I gotta put you up
Good
on
to
our
see you.
little stand thing already over here. There we go.
We're already live, and yeah, just because I figured we said we'd start at 2, and I kind of got a late start. Sorry about that. But so we're
No, that's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and just give me 2 seconds because I'm gonna share this on my page here.
all right. Yeah, I'm gonna start sharing it too to people out there. We already have one watcher.
Share.
We have one watcher. Hey, Tony. Betsy came in looking for you yesterday.
What's that?
Someone named
Betsy.
Betsy was looking for you yesterday.
Betsy.
Betsy,
Right?
Betsy.
Is that someone that might know me?
Yeah, I'll find
What's
the
her
last.
last name?
Let me look. I don't remember the last name, but yeah, someone was because I had a Heidi came on. There was an open mic last night, and then someone was looking for you, and we're just like, oh, that's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Would that be interesting? It's probably an old friend from the past.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a lot going on, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, staying busy, but not really. I mean, I'm not really doing a lot of the work like everyone else is playing. But yeah, we have like a bunch of fundraisers going on left and right,
Yeah, a
which is
ton.
kind of cool. But yeah, tonight, so we have the podcast right now, and then tonight at 5:30, we start the open mic. I don't know if you two are able to join in on that.
Sure. So is that like right after this, or is it 5:30 your time or 5:30 our time?
Oh yeah, 5:30 my time. So right now it's
Oh,
2 p.m. here. We don't have to
so
do a
Tony
lot.
can make me dinner first.
Yeah. What's for dinner, Tony? What's for dinner?
I haven't decided yet.
Whatever. There's a steak in the fridge. That's what's for dinner.
No lobster. No lobster.
No lobster. Yeah, I told him last night. I said we played at a lobster place like all summer, and I never ate the lobster because he's like, dude, send that lobster to me.
I don't.
You
I'm
can
not.
do that.
What's that, Tony?
I sent some lobster by ice to someone once.
Yeah.
They send it via mail overnight or something.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty interesting. I'm honestly I don't even know. Like I think I like lobster. I know I like seafood, but I mean I've never had lobster too much to know that I love it. I know it. I mean if you dip it in butter, like, and I don't. I think if you dip anything in butter, I feel like that would be good. But like, you know.
I think the trick is to steam them rather than boil them.
All right.
And you don't want to overcook them. You don't want to do it like over 12 minutes or, it's like, that's the deal. But I shouldn't talk about such things. But I live in Maine, so that's what I understand. And
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. You become like an expert on seafood living in Maine, probably.
well, I love oysters on the half shell. Some things I like. I don't know.
I'm still kind of looking for that person that I'm looking through my email for the Betsy, so I could try to figure out who the last name.
Yeah, they may be because I shared it on our band page and my personal page, so they may be somewhere else too.
Oh, okay, it was Betsy Chalfin. Betsy Chalfin. I didn't
Oh,
ask.
I knew it. That is unbelievable. I've been trying to contact her for years. So I was going to say the last name, but, I just didn't want to. But I knew who it was immediately. Yeah, I have to admit it. There's only one Betsy that I know, and that's Chalfin. So I didn't want to say, but.
Well, hopefully we get Betsy back. She was kind of confused.
Well, awesome. I'm interested to see her the web of interactions.
Yeah. We got a couple watching on each one of my pages, so
sweet.
Cool.
All right. Well, do you want to kick it off with a tune while I start sharing, and then we can go into some like conversation a little bit because I have like a ton of questions. I'm thinking.
Sure. Do you want What do you want? What do you want to play? Well, we were practicing this one earlier, so
okay.
We'll do this like Ode to Billy Joe one because I like it a lot. Is that cool? Yeah. Uh-oh, he's switching guitars.
No, no.
Oh, I know what he's doing. All right. There we go. Was it the June and all the sleepy dust till today? I was out shopping, cutting, and my brother, he was feeling hay. At dinner time, we stopped to walk back to the house to eat. Mama hollered out the back door, y'all remember to wipe your face. And she said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Ridge. Today, Billy Joe McCallum switched off the Tulare bridge. Papa said, Mama, as he passed around the black-eyed pig, Billy Joe never had a lick of sense. Pass the biscuits to 5 more acres in the lower 40. I got out. And Mama said it was a shame about Billy Joe anyhow. Seems like nothing ever comes to no good up on Choctaw Ridge. And now Billy Joe McCallum stays just on the television. Brother said he recollected when he and Tom and Billy Joe put a frog down my back at the Carroll County picture show. Wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night? I'll have another piece of apple pie. You know, it just don't seem right. I saw him at the sawmill yesterday up on Choctaw Ridge. And now you tell me Billy Joe I gotta go. Hold on. I lost my place. Mama said to me, child, what's happened to your appetite? Well, I've been cooking all morning and you haven't touched a single bite. That nice young preacher, Brother Taylor, he dropped by today. Said he'd be pleased to have dinner on Sunday. Oh, by the way. He said he saw a girl that looked a lot like you. I'm on Choctaw Ridge. you heard the news about Billy Joe. Brother Mary and Becky Thompson, they bought a store in Tupelo. There was a virus going around, Papa caught it, and he died last spring. And now Mama doesn't seem to want to do much. But me, I spent a lot of time picking flowers up on Choctaw Ridge and drop them in the muddy water across the Tallahatchie Bridge. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties in the middle of that, but
Good job, Heidi.
Sorry, sounded good.
Was that audible?
That was audible. I could hear everything. It sounded good. Yeah, I mean, no worries on some of the technical difficulties.
there. All right. Sorry, I forgot to enable the original sound thing. That might sound better a little bit.
All right, yeah. So you're from Long Beach, Tony?
I was born in Long Beach, yeah.
And then how long did you stay in Long Beach?
I was 3.
And then where'd you go?
Manhattan.
So Long Beach for 3 years of your life, and then you moved to Manhattan.
I went to Manhattan.
And then
Connecticut.
how long were you in Manhattan?
14 years or something.
And then where'd you go after that?
Connecticut, Albuquerque, Maine.
Albuquerque, Maine, Albuquerque, Maine, Albuquerque, Maine.
All right. Cool.
Either Albuquerque now. No, really, I love both places. They're just they're really very kind of on. Albuquerque's beautiful. The whole outside of the city is just all national park. So it's just a great place. They have skiing and a great place to live.
So your favorite place ever that you've ever lived is where?
Well, that's hard to say. It's either Maine or Albuquerque. I like Maine too. This has been it's been a great experience here in Maine. So I can't say that I. But Albuquerque, there's more going on. There's pavement.
there's pavement in Albuquerque.
For sure. All right.
There's people.
There's people, pavement, and bars and places to play. But I'm gonna have to wait that out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the music scene in Manhattan, I'm sure was pretty good.
I was too young probably to know back then, but
For sure.
Yeah, you started playing guitar when you were what? How old were you? 15?
But I didn't play out until I was 21. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I'm wondering. I guess Betsy's a little confused on the time because she joined our meeting yesterday here in Zoom, but then now today she's not here. But so hopefully she'll pop in.
Is she a musician or does she
Betsy?
play guitar or anything?
I think she was just a fan.
Okay, I know that. Well, I think she took up guitar way back in the day.
Oh yeah. She took lessons from you. She said.
Yeah, way back. I must have been 17.
Oh jeez, that was a long freaking time ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to do another one before we get into some of the more in-depth conversation?
If you want.
Yeah, let's have you do one more, and then let me think of some real hard, deep philosophical questions.
All right, philosophy.
Would you rather do just feeling right or don't know?
Yes. Let's do just ain't feeling right. Okay.
I gotta find it on my iPad.
Thank you for people that are watching on my page. I don't know who you are, but if your name's Betsy, come join the Zoom meeting. If your name's whoever, whatever your name is, come join the Zoom meeting. If you want to do the Q and A, we're about to do a Q and A after Heidi and Tony do this song. And oh shoot, we got someone coming in, Mr. Dave Crow. Dave Crow, welcome.
Who? I know Dave. Did
I
you
know
play
Dave.
last night?
No, Dave didn't play
Oh,
last night. I know Dave, but as far as I don't know if his audio is on. I see that he doesn't have. I think he's just here for an audience. Welcome, Dave. You're an audience member. If you want to do the Q and A, that'd be awesome. You can enable your audio. But take it away, Heidi and Tony.
so this is uh, Tony made me listen to Lulu Barker. She's a blues mama from back in the 40s, and he made me listen to her whole album, and I picked out a couple songs that I liked. So this is one of them off of the Lulu Barker album from a long time ago. Is that about right? I'm so disgusted, so doggone blue. Let me live and I'll prove to you I've got a home and money too. I don't know why I'm so blue. Oh, and no, I just ain't feeling right. My friends call every day. They all think I'm okay. They don't know I just ain't feeling right. Maybe it's because I lost the one I really love. Every night while I'm asleep, it's him I dream of. I ain't blind, I can see he has grown tired of me. That is why I just ain't feeling right. That's why I feel so blue. I just ain't feeling right. That's a fun song to do. Thanks, Jessica.
Round of applause. Round of applause. That was awesome. So,
Clapping.
what's that?
David Crow just said he was clapping.
Oh, clapping, Dave. All right. Yeah, like I said, Dave, if you want to, feel free to unmute, and but you don't have to. What was that song? Okay, that's good. We can do a Q and A with within the chat. That's fine. What was that song, Heidi and Tony?
So it's called "I Just Ain't Feeling Right," and Lulu Barker was the first one to do it, I believe. back in the 40s, long, long time ago. So,
Blue Lou Barker.
Lulu Barker.
Lulu Barker. Blue Lou Barker. For anyone that doesn't know, look up Blue Lou Barker.
Yeah, pretty obscure like blues lady, but I fell in love with her when Tony told me to listen to her album. So yeah,
Trying to get the lighting right here. Blue Lou Barker is a. Have you ever heard of Memphis Minnie?
Memphis
Dave,
Minnie.
welcome, Dave. Dave, have you ever heard? Dave, have you ever heard of Blue Lou Barker? Say something, Dave. Oh, you're not. You're not. Oh, you don't have the audio enabled. It's just video enabled. So you can't. I'm not sure how to make it where you could enable the audio. If you put something in, if you have something to say, put it in the chat because we can't hear what you're saying. You're not sure how to unmute. Okay, that was Blue Lou Barker, but and welcome Saya Yang and
Yeah, hi.
Saya. Do you want to unmute and say hi?
Hello, hello. Hey. Oh my God. Hi.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
Oh,
you could.
that's my
I see
other
a
voice.
laptop. Hey Saya.
Hey.
I'm
Yeah, I love your voice. Hmm?
so glad.
Hey. Is that your friend Tony? Or besides you?
Yeah.
That's Tony.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Heidi. Oh my God. Hey. Three fingers? Why
So
three?
where are you coming from, Saya? Saya?
Toronto, I believe.
It's not. Yeah, Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. It's awesome.
Can you hear me? Am I?
Yes, I can hear you, but we can't see you now. But it's okay. Um,
Uh-oh. Yeah, Toronto, Canada.
nice,
I'm in the same time zone as you guys.
cool. I'm not in Toronto. Dave and I are in California, but it's cool that we're
Okay. Must be a lot warmer
yeah,
than it is here.
yeah.
But
It's a little overcast today. It was raining and stuff yesterday, but yeah, it's pretty nice weather we have over here. But it actually gets really hot though, like too hot. But I have some questions or actually, Saya, do you have any questions for Heidi and Tony? Hello, Saya.
oh, can't think of any.
Okay, all right. I'm the one
Uh,
supposed to be asking questions anyway. So
just hi. Yeah. Uh, can't think of any question.
if you think of any,
Yeah.
put it in
Can
the chat.
oh function.
If you think of any, put it in the chat because you're breaking up a little bit. And same with Dave. If you have any questions, put it in the
Okay.
chat. All right. So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Question. Okay. So what's the so who what's the deal with the name of the band? I know. I mean, I'm assuming you like martinis, Tony. But like, where did that come from? Like, when did the band start?
It's just real, you know, it's really just it's kind of like an inside joke kind of
Yeah,
thing. But
it kind of just started as
a
a.
friend, another friend of mine came up with it because at the time we were working with we had we met a bunch of different crazy musicians and we were just jamming. But we had a sax player and a flautist for a little while, and it was kind of interesting. And but eventually things sort of simplify, But at Tony's Martini Club, what a good name, I mean, it's just an odd. It sounds festive, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's really the fun of it.
And so, what's your favorite
Well,
type of
I have
music?
my.
Blues or jazz? What are you gonna say, Heidi?
I said I had my first martini with Tony, so
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that's
you know
Yeah,
we
it's
had
true.
to.
I
He's such a bad influence.
But yeah, Tony, are you, like, is your favorite music blues or jazz or rock?
well, both. I mean, blues and jazz. I really like. I think what I really like about the medium, it. it has a kind of a poetic sense of abstraction.
Uh-huh.
You understand what I'm saying? So just like words can be in poetry and kind of an abstract, the blues has an atmosphere of sameness as a medium by which people are expressing ideas. And it's very interesting in those mediums with jazz and blues to really, I mean, of course that's true with any kind of, I mean, certainly Joe Satriani is phenomenal. So, it's hard really, the music as an abstraction and having a good organic medium. I think if those are the qualities, but then you think even pop music is somewhat, it has its, it's an music is just an interesting thing. I think I don't know how to express that better, but I like blues and jazz a lot just because of their abstraction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and so some of your favorite blues and jazz artists or rock artists.
Well, it's one of those things where you know it when you hear it. I grew up in I spent a lot of time in Rhode Island area, and there was a great local band called Room Full of Blues, and I really liked that sound. Big Joe Turner, a lot of the older blues, classic Chicago. I didn't really follow any players, but once you get the gist of it, anything sounds. You're sort of looking for that sound. You listen to so much of it, and you work with it, and it's kind of when I hear it, it's fun to get together with people that know how to play it. It's
Okay, well,
I'm not really.
Saya said, how long have you been collaborating?
Oh, so I moved to Maine about 5 years ago, and actually 5 years ago this month. And there's nothing else to do in Maine, so I picked up my guitar that was sitting in the closet that I hadn't really ever learned to play, and I met Tony a few months after I moved here, and he started giving me guitar lessons. So we've really been playing together for about 5 years. Um, we
No.
started playing out like um, we started playing out what 4 years ago or so,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago. So um, his his last assignment to me was book some gigs, and he regretted that ever since.
That's true.
He said, book the gigs, and I'll back you up."
No, that's what I said. I go, you
So
you book the gigs, I'll back you up. That's exactly what I did. And
yeah.
What's your favorite show you've ever done, Tony?
mine,
Yeah, throughout
I,
your whole history, was it your first show you've ever played? Your last show, which
we've got
right now?
very, here in, here in, well, it's hard, with the COVID, it's not easy to get gigs up here in where I live. I live close to Bangor, and I'd like to eventually get down and you can book sort of side stages down. Have you ever heard of the Bangor Folk Festival and things like that? That's an awesome place to be down on the pier down there. But I think the favorite thing I did last summer was playing at the Charlotte's.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like
Charlotte's.
throughout your whole history of playing music live, do you have like a favorite place
Oh,
you've?
before, I don't want to. I don't want to take too much time here. We got Heidi over here,
No,
but
you're
no.
all good.
Well, I liked. I played Toad's Place in Waterbury, and we opened up for Johnny Winter.
Wow, how was that?
And I was with a band back in the time called Hash Brown. I was probably about 21. The Hash Brown Blues Band. We had a great harmonica. We played a lot in Hartford, and
He was
I mean,
21 before I was born, so that was a long
yeah,
time
I
So
mean,
ago.
did Johnny Winter say
but I'm
anything
just
to
saying,
you?
I vaguely remember. We opened up Rosalini's in Westerly. It was like different play, or in Pawcatuck. There, it was. We opened up for a bunch of different acts. Elvin Bishop. I remember playing the Shaboo All Stars. We had, I mean, just it was way back in like 81, 80 and 81 is really when I really played out a lot.
What
And then
was
I
better? What was better, opening for Johnny Winter or Elvin Bishop?
well, they were both kind of different. I mean, obviously Johnny Winter, like, was fearsome. I don't remember much, I got to tell you, but it was a, you know, it was just super high energy gig. You know,
Did you like talk to either of them? Did you say anything to any either?
no, you know what happens is they don't listen to me at the time. You know, but my front partner Hash Brown, you know, they treated him like they, you know, come on backstage. I remember trying to get backstage, and they got, hey, buddy, you ain't going nowhere. They probably didn't recognize me, you know. So
Oh shit! So like, how did you book those gigs? Like, you guys were just like pretty well known in your area, or like, how did you?
it was out of Hartford, Connecticut, and the people that I played with were just young, entrepreneurial blues musicians. You know, there was, you know, the harp player. If you go online and you want to hear this harp player, after all these
He's
years,
really good.
after all these years, is Dave Thoralt, and look up a tune on YouTube called "The Deb," DEB.
I don't know. Is anyone able to put that in the chat, and then I could put it also in the
It's
Facebook.
spelled THE, the Deb, DEB. Dave Thoralt, DAVETHERAULT. But that will show you the kind of player he was.
And you were in
He
the
played a
band with
lot of
him.
Jay Giles, but listen, I don't want to go on too much about it. Never mind.
No, you're
It
fine.
was just a fun experience. You know, we were
Wait, wait, wait.
young
He played with Jay.
musicians, and
He played with Jay
what,
Giles, or what?
he played a lot of Jay Giles at the time. You
Okay.
know, we played a bunch of blues and Jay Giles, and a bunch of different Little Walter. We played tunes, you know, just some Muddy Waters. There was a lot of there was Sly. I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I played a lot of swing. Really, that was my specialty. But you know,
Dang, that's pretty cool. Like, so are those two, Johnny Winter and Elvin Bishop, are some of your main?
that's all I could. We opened up for Muddy Waters. James Cotton was another one. Harp player. I played a bunch of gigs for. It was about a 3 year jaunt, and then I just sort of played obscurely in different bands over. I mean, I never really,
Wow.
you know, got on to too big a deal.
You could say that you've opened for Muddy Waters, so that's pretty interesting
Yeah,
because that's like because they've played with Muddy Waters. You know, he's played open and played with a bunch of other bands and whatever. Like, you know, he's a very well known artist. Anyway, do you two want to do like a tune, maybe like an instrumental blues tune or something, and then go into like another song that you had planned, or do you want to just do what you had planned, or and
No,
cause
we can do
people might
like
want to people might want to hear some improvising or jamming kind of thing with just instrumental, but do whatever you want to do. But you just said you opened for Muddy Waters, so people probably like, what? I want to hear what this. I wanna
it's
hear.
not that, you know, it's a simple medium. I can't. I don't want to say that it was the world's greatest gig, but you know, it was some nice music, man. It really was. And anyway, so what are we gonna do now? Are we gonna do tour now?
Yeah, yeah.
All
Let's
right,
do like that B
all right.
flat.
I'll try my solid body now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. He's grabbing a different guitar.
I
All
don't
right,
know if this is going to work. I don't think this is. I'm trying to help you guys out, but I don't think this is going to translate well. But I'll try it.
we'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Excuse me.
B flat.
Yeah. Slow it down a little bit. tore down, almost level with the ground. Yeah, I'm tore down, almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. Went to the river to jump in. Baby showed up and said, I'll tell you when. I'm tore down, almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. Love like mine will never grow old. I love you in the morning and evening too. But every time you leave me, I get mad with you. 'Cause I'm tore down, almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. Give me some. Oh. You want to go through it one more time? Do it. I want to hear something. Love you, baby, on my mind. Love like mine is out of sight. Die for you if you want me to. I really don't believe your love is true. 'Cause I'm tore down, almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. Yeah, I'm tore down, almost level with the ground. Oh, I'm tore down, almost level with the ground. Yeah, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. Oh,
Sorry. That's a good way. You got it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Testing.
Hey, Dave,
Testing.
Sorry.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Hey,
You
hi.
got it.
Who's my hearing?
Yeah.
I take it that's Heidi.
Awesome. But Dave, you gotta stop the video that's playing in the background though. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Hey, hi.
Echo.
All right, Dave. It looks like you have. It sounds like you have the video playing in the background. If you mute that video on Facebook, and then we could just hear your voice. But yeah, Heidi and Tony, that was amazing. I can definitely hear the Muddy Waters influence there. All right, Dave. Dave, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure this thing. This is the first time I've done this, so.
All right. Well, looks like you figured it out. So what'd you think?
Audio, so,
What'd you think of Tony and Heidi, Dave?
I'm a blues fan. That was awesome. Are you kidding me? It was great. Tony and Heidi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Where are you guys from? Where are you from?
We live in Maine.
Oh, Maine. Wow, cool. Awesome. I'm Dave Grohl. I'm from California. I'm Justin's neighbor. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
But
Yep.
welcome,
I wouldn't-
Betsy.
What's that?
Welcome, Betsy. We have Betsy joining us from.
Awesome.
Hi.
There she
Hey.
is.
Let me see that.
Hi.
I know as I live and breathe.
Hi, Tony.
Oh, my e-links never. My message in a bottle.
Hi. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. We'll have to concur later in how this could come to be.
Yeah, well, you have to get in touch with me. I don't know how to get in touch with you.
All right. Well, we'll
Maybe
work on
through
it.
Facebook. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's true.
Heidi has a.
I am obscure in that fashion. But
the
anyway,
chat-
Betsy, good to
we
see
have a
you. I'll
chat-
we'll concur later.
What was
Betsy,
that?
we have a chat room that we could put, information in. And we can get that to Heidi. So if Heidi wants to do that,
That would be perfect.
All right, cool.
information in the chat. But yeah, well, Heidi, did you have another tune planned, or do you want to do one more before we?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want. I know you're gathering for an open mic here, and we were.
I'm not tripping. I'm just saying, like, did you want?
Oh.
Did you want to do another tune before we start asking questions? Is what I was trying to say.
Oh, sure, yeah. Do you want to do another one?
Well, what will we do?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
What's on the list?
I don't know. Whatever you want. We could do.
Betsy, hey Betsy, do you see the chat room? Do you see the chat box?
I'm on an iPhone, so I don't.
If you click more or something, then you'll see like.
Okay.
You'll see chat. And in the
Chat.
In the chat, I put Heidi Metzger, Metzger. You can find her on Facebook.
Betsy,
Oh yeah.
I think I saw you. You liked our band page.
Yeah. I always like them.
You can always
I could send
me through the band page too.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Awesome, Betsy.
Awesome, Tony.
Awesome. I can't even tell you.
Surprise!
So, what do you want to do? Why? Don't touch my leg, unchain my heart. Come on, pick a song.
Do you want to do? Can we do? We haven't done that in a while. Let's do that one. It's a blues one, so we should.
All right.
What you
Don't feel my leg. This is another Blue Lou Barker tune.
Bulu, is it Blue Lou or Bulu?
Blue Lou Barker.
Isn't that a great name?
BLULU Barker.
Dave, have you ever heard of Blue Lou Barker?
That's a first for me.
All right, same here. But it sounds
like a great name, though.
But I want to request a blues shuffle in A, just because I'm trying to learn them right now.
Oh, yeah. Bless you. Well, we've been doing actually, kind of tunes more, but just to play a blues shuffle in A, we could do kind of what we did before, just on the thing, because one of the things about a Chicago blues shuffle in A would be like what I showed Heidi, which is just a simple snap, which is just you're throwing chords down, right? So the main one guy's going to be playing this. So Heidi's got that. Now watch, you hear that snap? I can go.
Yeah, okay. So Heidi's playing the rhythm, you're playing the lead.
Just that simple 1/4. It's a 1/4/5 12-bar blues, and just to throw that one, and then if in a power trio situation, a lot of times either you're going to double with the bass and do this line, something like that, right? And then the rhythms like this, and those are the funnest thing. It's like a march, and then you can like licks on top of that. So if let me do this one thing in A with Heidi. You start 1, 2, 3, and you do some solo on.
please.
We like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I hear that you guys say that you
It's so
open?
energetic and fun to play like that. I can't tell you. It
Ah,
takes a while to get into the abstract part of it, but just those basic components seem so simple at first, and
yeah.
yet you hear just implicating the thing. I won't say any more, but you implicate the rhythm in such a way. And,
I'm just a beginning player. I'm sick
yeah,
COVID.
that's why I was, yeah, that's why I was explaining it though, how much fun it is to get into that mindset. I'm trying to encourage you here because
Totally.
Yeah,
you know.
I actually I have to admit something. I literally just learned that today.
yeah. Good for you. Awesome.
Wow.
Well,
Right
now,
on.
was I hearing you say you opened for Johnny Winter?
I did years ago at Toad's Place in Waterbury, not in Waterbury, in New Haven.
Uh-huh. Oh, Connecticut.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
there was
well,
a Toad's Place in Waterbury and one, I think in New, like if I remember correctly, New Haven.
I went on tour with him, I don't know, a few years ago. I just followed him around for like 4 or 5 shows.
Oh, you
And I
did
get
excellent. Yeah.
he came to Exeter, California, which is this tiny little town, and he played, and I got to meet him. Got to go out in the trailer in his tour RV and meet him and stuff. It was awesome. Yeah,
I would have loved to talk with him, but when I was there, the bouncer wouldn't let me backstage.
and you're an opening act? Oh my
Oh, he
God.
let my front guy, the front guy. Oh, no problem. But he kind of put the arms up like this and said, "You ain't going by here. Sorry, the
Well,
room is."
he was his last year. He was managed by a guy named Paul Nelson,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
who did a really good job at weaning him off of methadone. He was on methadone for many years, and he did a good job of weaning him off methadone and keeping on tour and doing all that stuff.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
he
Awesome.
meant a
Yeah.
lot to John in the last years. But yeah, he was awesome, and I've been fortunate in my life to meet a few of the blues greats from Albert
Oh,
Collins,
oh, good. Yeah.
see Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I've seen most of them. I used to go to the San Francisco Blues Festival every year, and seen so many blues greats. Hubert Sumlin comes to mind today because I was reading about him today. So, a lot
Yeah.
of great blues players. So,
Nice, man.
yeah.
Betsy, who are your favorite music artists?
Tony Brown.
I know, right? I was gonna say that.
I
One of
don't know
the
who
blues
that
greats.
is.
So that's Tony right here, Dave. Dave, Tony is with us
Oh,
playing right
Tony. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. I'm a fan also.
now. Oh shoot! So yeah, all right. Well, do a tune that you guys had planned, that you about to do before you did the shuffle.
Sorry. Didn't
No,
hijack.
No, that was good. Well, real quick though, Tony, um,
he has a question for you.
Oh
yeah,
yes. What's that?
would you ever be open to teaching like me or Dave like over Zoom, giving Zoom lessons?
I would get together maybe, as in between things here. I don't mind. I don't know what I could possibly show you. There's so much of a wealth on YouTube there.
Yeah. I've been taking
Really,
some
I would
lessons.
glad to have a conversation anytime. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm not really technologically savvy anymore, though.
I'll come be.
Right, I need a secretary.
All right.
Well, I need real basic stuff because I'm a real nerd at this at playing guitar. So
Yep, I just know that people that just this is my big peeve lately is you go online and they try to advertise the technical specs on the devices you're using, and they're never. I mean, there's some really specific information that I want to know right off the bat, and they never tell you that. So when you shop for a device that's going to plug into your iPhone on Amazon, there's certain questions that you just have to know. And that is immediately, can I control the volume and which mic I'm using? And can I cut out noise cancellation? And can I override the OS, inboard system with my own, it's just impossible to run your phone without, you have to get into the brain of the phone. And that's why I don't like iOS. I way prefer if I could do it through a Mac, because iOS really limits your ability to access the specific aspects of sound in your phone.
Really? Not even through what's that? What's the program? GarageBand? Isn't there a GarageBand on iOS?
Yeah.
I think it's more
That
talking
doesn't
about what
work?
you're trying to
I'm just talking about, for instance, a forensic way to control the input volume on your onboard mic.
Oh,
You see you should be able to, there's a kind of, if you can turn, for instance, how do you have an iPhone and turn off the auto level on your microphone?
okay. Let me wrap my head around that. You say that one more time, Tony, please.
How do you turn off the auto level on the input of your onboard microphone in your iPhone?
Onboard mic for the iPhone, you can mute it.
Yeah, you have an iPhone and you're recording like we are now, but I have to move the phone back because the volume's too loud, because auto level is on and you can't turn it off.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? That's a very important function for a musician, because in digital there is no distortion. So I'm not going to get into it, but my whole beef is just we need more control over the phone and how it records. Putting a microphone in, turn down you should be able to, there should be an app that controls just the mic volume input.
I think that's
Can
10
you do
years
that?
away.
How about something like this?
Well, no, but is that an iPhone? I know you can do it with that thing. I know.
The sound.
I agree. I know.
Let's get into the song.
I know you can do this. I'm just talking.
What was that, Justin?
I get it.
Have you let you do the song you were planning to do, and then we'll get into the technical stuff after that.
I hate technology, all right?
Okay, stop.
I feel you. I feel you.
Don't you feel mad? Don't you feel mad? 'Cause if you feel mad, you're gonna feel mad. And if you feel mad, you're gonna go up higher. So don't you feel mad? Don't you battle? Don't you battle right? 'Cause if you battle, you're gonna make me high. And if you make me high, you're gonna tell a lie. So don't you make me high. You said take me out, treat me fine, but I know there's something you got on your mind. If you keep drinking, you're gonna get fresh, and you wind up asking for the fine brown. Won't you feel my love? Don't you feel my love? 'Cause if you feel my love, you're gonna feel my thing. If you feel my thing, you're gonna go up higher. So don't you feel my love? Don't you feel my love? Don't you feel my love? 'Cause if you feel my love, You're gonna feel my fire, and if you feel my you're gonna go up higher, so don't you feel like me. That was another Blue Lou Barker tune.
Nice. Blue Lou.
Better? Okay, I'm just getting this.
Nice.
I can
Sweet.
mute now, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? Any Q&A kind of things? Betsy or Dave or Saya?
Q&A, question and answer. Well, you getting back to what Tony was saying about the phone.
Oh no.
I know. You're gonna have to give me lessons now. All right. I'm not.
We're learning together here, Tony. We're learning together. Like I said, I've had this for a minute, but you're actually recording. Are you using video recording? Is that what you're
Well, I'm
doing?
just using Heidi's iPhone now on Zoom.
On Zoom, so you're recording the video and audio?
Well,
We're not.
yeah.
We're not
I think
recording.
he's more talking about live streaming.
Yeah.
He's not satisfied with the quality of the sound when you live stream through Zoom.
Through
Yeah, it's
Zoom.
not the best, but
Yeah.
the way to go about it is to go through it. Yeah, like a laptop. I'm going through a laptop. I'm not hooked up to any mics, but if I had a microphone and I had like a inbox, they go to the laptop like a through
Hank,
USB.
I'll be
Yes,
right back.
I understand that. I think all I was saying is, why doesn't Apple make an in-system? Apple needs to have a system-wide mixer for the microphone it shouldn't be so automatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Why you can't download any systematic driver for your phone that only controls the mic input. That's all I'm saying. It's
Okay, well,
simple
I got this.
yeah.
Got this. This is made by Shure, and it has the lightning connection right here for my phone.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so I can use this as a mic, and it has its own software program that you can record into.
So the mic has the software program.
Yeah,
This is
it's
what I gotta know. I know this is true. Yes.
Sure
Yeah.
microphones make this. It's real handy. I used to try doing some podcasting a few years ago, so I bought this for podcasting. But I'm sure it would work with your iPhone. I mean, that's kind of how I have it hooked up now, is through my iPhone.
You download the app too.
Yeah, you download the Shure app, and it's really great. I actually use that.
Yeah, I knew that. I just needed some advice. I was all right. Oy vey, I just
That mic's like
I knew that. All right.
It's about $100 or something like that.
So, Heidi, Betsy, were you able to find Heidi on Facebook?
Well, yeah, and I have the Tony Martini Band on Facebook, so I can send a message through there.
All right, I don't know who runs it, but yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, Heidi, yeah. Maybe Betsy will, give her number or something in that.
I definitely will. Yeah.
So you guys can connect and whatnot. But yeah, I'm glad that that was funny, Betsy. You came to the open mic yesterday, and I was just like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you made it today.
Thank you.
We could do any Q&A kind of things for Tony and Heidi. Anybody?
How's the weather out there?
Cold.
Cold?
What is it?
Is it raining?
It's 11 degrees.
Oh
What?
God! Oh God! Did your door freezes shut in your car and stuff like that?
It's all right. You kind of everything seems to start up all right.
Actually, for this time of year in Maine, that's pretty warm.
Is it really?
So there's years that we get down to like -30. So
Tony, Randy lives in Maine now too.
Does he? Everybody's moving up here.
Yeah, I almost did.
And why is everyone moving to Maine?
I have no idea. Because they ruined all their land with all the venture capitalists and property developers, and now they want to come up here.
Well, southern Maine is pretty gross, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
are
mean,
you in northern Maine?
Mhm.
Central.
Central, yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
So you do the
Do you know where?
portaging through the lakes and all that with canoes and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. There's always that activity. There are no, you don't have any buildings, sidewalks, or streets around. So like every pine forest has its own unique sort of statuesque sort of, it's like so obscure to just drive somewhere and be in the middle of the woods all the time.
Yeah.
And we're going over here. We're going over here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know that place. It's like it's not really a building so much as you're outside.
Well, I spent the last 12 years in Yosemite National Park, so I
Oh,
get
nice.
living in the woods.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's somewhat less monumental esque.
Well, I mean,
So,
beauty in every flower and every leaf.
wait, what was that?
There's beauty in every flower and every leaf.
That's true.
There is. That is true.
It's
Yes.
not always it's not always the vast, expansive landscapes that impress. Sometimes it's just a piece of
Yeah,
moss.
I think that's
You
what I
know,
was kind of driving at. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every place has its unique character. It just unlocking the mystery of nature always.
So,
Yeah.
Dave, like living in Yosemite and stuff, like, have you started to write any like poetry or any like essays like John Muir or anything?
Well, I did when I first went up there quite a bit. I've gone through various phases with writing. Uh, I'm not so much interested in poetry anymore, unless it's like a haiku kind of thing. But
Those are cool.
yeah, I've kind of gone up and down with it, depending on the connected universe, if you will. But I'm start slowly now. I don't think it's dependent on that. There was a lot of different the social aspects of living there that were difficult. So I think more of any writing that's come out of that is still sort of developing right now. Through that period of life of sacrifice, sort of in the mountains. So some of that it's starting to come together a little bit now. But thank you for asking. It's kind of while I was up there, I wrote some things. All my notebooks, unfortunately, when my car got stolen, were in my car. So
Damn.
whatever I wrote, just my scribblings and stuff like that through the years, I lost, 5 years ago. But that's okay. I mean, you can always, improve and re-envision stuff. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, if you have any if you have anything you come up with haikus or whatever, you're always welcome to come to the open mics. We always need new poets and stuff like that, and
yeah.
whatever.
I've never, usually it's more along the line of social commentary in the way of rants and
That's
ravings of
cool.
lunatic. Usually it comes out that way.
Political stuff is cool too. Political poems, I like that. But
Well,
hey,
right now, I don't know how safe it is. I don't know how courageous I am in today's political climate. It just kind of, I have my moments. Let's put it that way. Just like
so
anybody
Tony and
else.
Heidi, do you ever go to Canada, or like, because you're pretty close?
Yeah. I haven't been to, I No, I really haven't gone up to Canada at
Yeah,
all.
not really. I've been like right to the border, but I haven't been.
So you don't have your passports?
I don't.
When I went to Canada when I was a teenager, I didn't have to have a passport.
Right.
But you haven't you never got one, both of you?
No, I haven't done a passport yet.
No.
I've been a little bit.
So there's
I haven't
everything
been
you
to a
need. There's
passport.
everything you need is where you are pretty much. You don't need to go to Canada to do anything like Toronto, because it doesn't. Saya live in
Yeah,
Toronto.
the blues festival and
Well, Canada is I don't know. I mean, I've seen it's extraordinary in the music realm. I mean, they have some of the most
yeah,
progressive, most very just powerful new performers every year. Their music is up
like
there.
Montreal has their like blues festival every year or whatever.
I mean,
That
that
would
would be
kind of
something.
fun.
I mean, I have
Yeah.
no idea. I don't really pay attention to much who's, what's out there, but I mean, I have seen glimpses of just amazing things. I can't recall the name of, but
What's the? Has anyone ever heard of the Montreux Festival? Montreux.
Yeah, that's in
Montreux.
Switzerland.
Where's that at?
Switzerland.
Oh, that's Switzerland. Okay, I was like, I get that
Oh,
mixed
wait,
up.
I think that is
Something. Yeah. Anyway,
Switzerland.
Dave, do you have your passport, Dave?
I do. I went to
Okay.
China a few years ago, so I still have it from that. Yeah, it's Montreux, Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have my passport. Yeah, I went to China maybe 4 years ago, something like that. Yeah, 4 years ago.
For sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I have to renew mine and stuff, but yeah, I guess so let's see.
Well, I did go to Canada. I went to Canada. That was my first international trip
Nice.
back in 1972. I went there, played ice hockey up there in Nelson, British Columbia. Yeah, long time.
How about you, Betsy? Do you ever get anywhere like to Canada or anything?
Well, the borders are closed now, but for the last 4 years, I kept saying I'm moving there. I still think about it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Saya is in
start a
Toronto.
commune.
Wait, what's that, Tony?
I was saying maybe we could start a commune.
Don't
Sounds
tempt
good
us.
to me.
Do
Like
not
a
tempt us.
Canada movement.
Well, you might wonder why I know Justin. I lived with Justin's father in a commune back in the 70s.
Really?
That's how before he was a gleam in his father's eye. We were living on a commune outside of. He might not
Where was
admit
the
it.
commune?
It's a
In
little town
California?
called Land of Goshen, California. Yeah, it was basically a squat. Somebody had a little farmhouse out there that they'd abandoned. We lived in it with no electricity, and no windows, no doors, no anything. And there was about, I don't know, 10 of us living there, with a communal garden. And, occasionally somebody would tap into the electrical pole and would have live electric music and stuff like that. But
That sounds great.
it was, it was our little utopian vision that lasted about 6 months.
Yeah.
One of those.
Human beings are very disappointing sometimes.
Oh, well.
So how about this, Heidi, Tony, Betsy? Do you ever get to Vermont?
Yeah, I get there. I mean, once every 10 years or so.
Is it like littered with Bernie signs or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I just assume, but yeah, like because he was first a mayor, right? He was a mayor over there.
He was, yeah. Well, he was born.
He was the mayor of
born
Burlington. He was a mayor of Burlington, Vermont.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. And then a congressman or senator or something.
Yeah.
He's always been a
something.
I saw a picture of him today. This meme thing they have with him sitting in his chair and his mittens. That's real popular.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. I've got a joke for you guys. I beg forgiveness of all my good friends named Karen that are good people. The Karen thing's a meme, right? Well, you know what you call a group of Karens, right? A complaint.
Right.
A group of Karens is called a complaint. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. I don't know. Nobody gets it.
Explain it.
Huh?
For those that don't, explain.
Well, it's like a group of anything. You got a gaggle of geese, right? Okay, but a group of Karens is called a complaint.
I get it, I guess.
I think now, yes.
That's funny, I guess. Okay.
We lost Toronto.
Murder of crows.
Murder of crows, exactly. Yeah. But it's called a complaint. Anyway.
I see that. That's right.
It's a joke.
No. Sorry, I was a little bit slow on that. I was.
Well,
now
I'm not.
But it makes me. Well, I know it actually makes me think of how you could create several more of those, using that
For
same concept. Good.
classification, you mean classification, a meme classification? What do you call a group of Bernies? There you go. All day you can work on that.
So, quick question. Let's take a vote. Who
Yeah.
is Bernie going to run in 2024?
You
How
know,
old is
I,
Bernie?
So
now it's my understanding that he's going to be head of the chair of the budget committee. Is that correct? He's got a
Is he-
I
cabinet.
heard that. I heard
Yeah, he's
that.
got a cabinet post. If I mean, I think that the corporatist Democrats are not going to. They're not going to support him for president because, the political parties have been factioned into quarters. You've got your progressives on the far left. You've got your corporatist Dems in the middle, and then your corporatist Republicans on the near right, and the Trumpists on the far right. So.
And it all depends on what stock you own.
Isn't that the truth? But that's changing too. That's a changing scene right now.
That's right,
But
because of crowdfunding.
which has been great for Bernie. I mean, that's the thing that scared the shit out of him. I think is the fact that he could go out and raise enough money to run on a grassroots level and prove it could be done. So he was I think a threat to the entrenched thinking of the Democratic Party. But hey, he's been good for everybody, I think. I mean, I think he's fights in our best interests, so. But as far as a run for president, what's Bernie now? 78? That's going to put him. It's going to put him in his 80s, right?
The thing about capitalism, it keeps everybody on edge.
Explain, Tony. Explain, Tony. Go in more depth. What do you mean?
I mean, come on.
You
You
say that.
know, unless you're addicted to the market or something like that, what are you going to do? Gamble your life away? I mean, people are desperately trying to hold it together, and it's like there's
Yeah,
no security anywhere. So it's like you're
yeah,
always like on the ball. Every 24 hours. There's no. It's not like in primitive times where the men would go out hunting for half an hour and then tell each other tall tales for the rest of the day. They come back home and they tell everybody this big story. I mean, there's not enough free time. So you're always on edge with capitalism. Every inch of reality has a dollar sign on it. If you really think about it, I mean, not to get all heavy about it, but it
no,
does.
no, no.
Everything you do, you have to always think about it.
So, what's the alternative, Tony?
The alternative would be, I would suggest, a society. If we were to get very abstract here, if you go back and watch The Gods Must Be Crazy 1 and 2, I think it describes a sort of abstract, although the story is a kind of a fallacy in a way. It's interesting to see how the idea that you could have a group of people withdraw into the Kalahari Desert from all society and still survive somehow.
Have you seen that movie, Justin?
No. What is it?
All right, don't listen to me. All right, I'll go
No.
on forever. The
I,
Gods Must Be Crazy.
Go,
It's fantastic.
at least watch version 1. The Gods Must Be Crazy. You got to watch at least the first one.
Yes,
I'll
you gotta
check.
watch
All right, you know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah.
I do, absolutely. And funny you say
First,
I've been working on a project, and this is not a sales pitch because it's just really I'm still doing my due diligence. I got this book, Banking for Dummies, online for dummies. Because, no, I'm serious because I look at the financial system and the way it's set up is it's not set up to serve the people who put money in the system. It's the consumers. And so I'm trying to want to promote an algorithm that is based on what I call spatial aggregation that basically takes your payments and it reduces a lot of variables that people see in their personal finance, because some people get paid by the day, some people get paid by the week, Some people get paid every 2 weeks. Some people get paid by the month. Okay. And these bills are falling due at all different time sequences within those intervals. So everybody's like juggling all these balls in the air, trying to keep from dropping one or missing a payment or getting late. And next thing you know, their Netflix bill comes in and their car insurance bounces. And then they have a $30.
Doesn't that keep you on edge all the time? It
Well,
keeps
see,
you on
that's what
edge. You're
I'm saying.
always like,
That's what I'm saying. The computers can solve all that shit. You don't have to carry it around in your brain and do all this juggling. That's what the computer's for. So what I want to do is develop the algorithm that levels the playing field financially. It's wealth management for all, including the poor. All right. And it's just something that to simplify banking as a payment system, not as a budgetary tool or any of that, but simplifies payments so you're never late, never have service charges, breaks them up equally throughout the year, does the function of escrow for taxes and all that kind of stuff, and prioritizes payments according to importance. The must pay gets paid before the discretionary or entertainment or any of those kind of things, So anyway, that's what I want to work on, something to democratize finance,
I'm being humorous here, but you'll have to forgive me, but it's the one button option.
Well,
right?
it should be really.
It's so complicated. It's like only a child can do it. I don't know.
No, and either that or you have some weird advantage in the game where you got so much money at play that you don't miss, 1,000 here or there, or whatever, and it doesn't matter, But for the rest of us have to pay attention, If you're not paying attention, you're losing, is what happens,
You got to be on it all the time. It's just like
your wallet, they say, right?
How do you sleep at night? It's
I want to let the computer take care of that so I can rest easy.
If you can write code,
well, I'm more of a
need any crowdfunding, let me know, right?
Yeah, I might end up doing that. Like I said, I've been kind of doing my due diligence right now, and looking at program. I've been looking for a full stack programmer, a full stack developer that does.
We'll have to hire a crew. We'll have to hire a crew.
Absolutely.
Hey, Betsy is question for Betsy is there any is capitalism forever? Is capitalism going to be the only thing?
Oh, I don't think so. It can't go on like it is. I mean, look at the difference between. I mean, the difference in income now, or like the rich and the poor, is greater than it was in the French, when the French Revolution, when everybody's heads got chopped off. I mean, it can't go on like this. I don't think.
That's interesting, Betsy, that you would say such a thing.
Why?
Well, I think that what we're talking about early
revolution,
French democracy, or wasn't there a special wing for the leftists or something, that the working class, they didn't have any representation, and right? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about the let them eat cake, Marie Antoinette. I'm talking about like the 1%, and the fact that like so many
representation. Didn't the average didn't the average population need representation at some point?
Yeah, well, but the French Revolution, that was way before they got represented by anything. They were basically slaves, and we're all basically slaves now.
Who did they go after, though? Who got their heads chopped off? Was it the liberals?
Marie Antoinette.
Right. It was the very, very, very rich who got their heads chopped off.
They went after the nouveau riche or whatever. Not the nouveau riche, but I can't remember. So they chopped off the aristocracy's heads.
Yes. It would be like chopping off Trump's head, or everybody with golden toilets.
But in his but the thing about with that is that I think there's a difference there to have a differentiated working class that you wouldn't go after the people didn't go after the Mussolinis. See, this is the big.
I was just answering Justin's question about can capitalism go on? I mean, I don't have any answers, but I don't think that this can go on. It just keeps getting worse and worse.
Hey, real quick, we have someone named Sandy Rustisi asking a question on Facebook. When did Heidi learn to play the blues?
Yesterday.
And then here's another one. Hey, Tony and Heidi, Cat here. It's Cat. Sandy Rustisi is actually Cat. Just wow. Hi, Betsy. So we got someone named Sandy Rustisi on Facebook, but I guess her real name is Cat, Kat, and they're just saying it's awesome. And then Jeffrey Blackman. There's a Shure mic that plugs into an iPhone. He just chimed in. Shure MV88 digital microphone. But
I've seen. Yeah, I love that. I'm going to research that. Thank you so much. That was
Yeah,
that was a prayer for help because I'm trying to figure out how to make it sound better. And
So
it's
Tony,
got in the back. It's got a headphone jack. It's got a headphone jack and a mini USB here. It's got a headphone jack and
awesome, I love it. Thank you
mini
so much.
USB.
Yeah.
So they work. So when you're doing a podcast, you can just hook it up like that and then hook the. Doesn't take batteries. It just plugs right in. It's like
Uses the system wide. Yeah, good,
yeah.
excellent. Thank you so much. That's very helpful to me because I'm outdated.
I bought it at Guitar Center. I'm sure they're available online, but it's made by Shure, the very famous mic company.
so Tony, what? I just wanted to chime in on this. You have like a really good voice. I don't know. Were you in radio? Like, what did you? Are you always just a musician or a music teacher?
Oh, what's that? What is he saying? I'm sorry. What's that?
were you?
I'm just saying, like, your voice. Like, are you famous? Like, or like, are you?
I don't know how I'm coming across because I can't hear it. So
Um,
I'm just guessing. I'm trying to guess. No, I'm glad that I can articulate well. Thank you. No, I've never. I actually do a lot of recording for different people, friends and stuff. I'm kind of savvy technology wise. No, I don't know how to. This is the first time I
Tony
ever.
should be famous because he's probably more talented than everybody else, but that's life.
We're gonna have to really have a long talk. This is wonderful. I don't know who's. Betsy, you're fantastic and you're great. I love the expression on your face. Here I am. I can't see myself now, but
There's like this
anyway, thank you.
writing over. I can't. Tony and I go back to like 5 years old, maybe 7 years old.
It's gotta be
Wow.
7. Wait,
That's awesome. But no, yeah, Tony. I was just saying, your voice. It reminds me of like someone on a TV that narrates movies or something, or the TV, or like a radio disc jockey. You never did anything like that?
No, I never did. I never did.
What was your occupation? Besides musician and
I
teacher?
didn't really do much else. I worked. I worked with a bunch. What's that? The what?
The Guild Factory.
I did for a short time in my life. I worked at the Guild Musical in Westerly, Rhode Island. I mean, I have a bunch of my whole life. I did some painting, but I did a lot of gigs here and there when I could. So I pieced it together.
You said you worked at Guild Guitars?
Work at Guild before it sold to Ovation.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Those are
But
those
I
are.
was in Westerly, Rhode Island at the time, and my job of all the jobs, it was kind of fun. I I picked up a guitar. They gave me a guitar of like a rack of 12 guitars, and you pick it up and you go like this. You go all the way up, and you check it out, and that's like you're doing so you're working 8 hours a day, and you could like decide what scales you wanted to play. So it was a very good finger exercise. I know it's funny, And I was pretty good at repairing some stuff, so they came to me.
Can I pay you to narrate a film I'm making?
Well, maybe this is unusual, but I would let's concur later on this
All right.
subject.
Do you accept PayPal? Do you know? Do you take PayPal?
I've never. No, let's.
You can send it to me.
All right.
Let my secretary take care of it. I know this is
All
odd.
right. Think of your rates. Think of some rates that you would charge to narrate a film I'm going to be working on. But that'd be pretty cool. But
What are you working on film wise?
documentary.
Is it a? Did you recently? Sorry, I don't mean to change the subject, but did you recently see Michael Moore's documentary on what was the name of it? God, I wish the human. I can't remember Anyway, Michael Moore just did a thing on solar energy, on renewable energies. It was the human factor. I can't remember. I have it down on my computer, but I have to get it up again. But I can't remember it right now. And
I'll have to check it out. I like his work.
You talking about Planet of the Humans? Planet of the Humans?
It's a heartbreaker.
What did you say, Dave?
Planet of the Humans?
Yes, it's so revealing. It's out of date, but it really gets the point across. And I'm listening to this. I'm listening, Betsy talks about capitalism, but I'm listening to this thing on NPR today on the radio as I'm coming back from the market. And they never intended us to recycle plastics. And there's more plastics in the ocean in this big whirlpool, and they have to kind of fish it out. They can't get rid of the stuff, but it's not really recyclable. Nobody cares about it. So we bundle it up, we move it somewhere, we don't know where it's going. It's like, so Planet of the Humans gets into the whole the whole dialogue of how do you say of technologies that it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul when it comes to green energy, and how the Koch brothers and these major industries are producing these supposedly energy saving devices, but it takes more energy to create the devices than it would be if you just pulled the stuff out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? That was their whole deal. Was like, why would you build all these solar panels if it takes more energy and rare materials to put the solar panels together and they only last 20 years? It's like ridiculous. Our belief in this whole green energy thing has been a fallacy. And it was interesting to see Michael Moore take the back burner on that, and expose that side of. It's like when you buy green technology, these are companies related to the Koch brothers.
Wow.
And
So
not just that, Tony. That's back in 1998. I got certified in what they call permaculture design. Have you heard of permaculture? So I got certified in permaculture design, and I went to this conference in San Francisco. It's called the Bioneers. Okay, had a lot of notable speakers. Caroline Casey was one of the hosts, and we had Paul Stamets, the mycologist, was there, and a lot of keynote speakers that were really great. But the one thing I found is, one, it was really expensive. And two, the only people that were actually practicing that, they already made their money. It wasn't like, mom and pop, that had a little house out in the valley were suddenly, sustaining themselves on their city lot or anything like that. And I guess my point is that even with the more well-meaning evolving technologies, usually, it takes a lot of money to install a solar system on your home, and not just the initial investment, as you've got a depreciation, you've got to reinstall those things over time. So it's expensive to be sustainable, to do ecological practices. It's hard to do that on a budget.
And if you live in New Mexico and these adobe mud buildings, and if they're built out of them, the walls are like 1.5 feet thick. We should have that all over. My gosh. This thing, you build your house into a side of a hill, and you're spending $1,000 a year on heat. There's so much you can do with simple tools. Why don't they make better, more efficient things and charge more money? I don't understand why they wasted everything we had and charge less money. Why do we get cars that are getting 12 miles to the gallon when we should be making cars that get 3 miles? Yeah, I mean, 30, 50 miles to the gallon and just charge more for gas. What's up with these guys? They know more about what they're doing. For some reason, we've squandered every energy system we've had in the worst way, with polluting with lead. Our history in this is deplorable. And they go, oh, well, that's all they knew back at the time. But these people don't get into these business deals and designing the stuff without knowing what to expect. And it's very, you got to attract your investors, and,
How
I
does
don't want to get too over.
what'd you say, Dave?
XL pipeline, just this week, they canceled the XL pipeline from Canada. And, I know people that work in the oil and gas industry, and they're all up in arms, that this is such a bad move, and, the Lakota tribe fought so hard to keep that off their land, and they've already had ruptures in the pipe that have caused damage to their water systems, and it's, people put, something that's sort of a luxury, gas is really a luxury compared to water, really is,
Exactly.
It's a luxury compared to water, but they're willing to sacrifice the water for the oil, for short-term gain. And that's just the thinking I think that people have that's unfortunate, is everything's short-term, instead of looking at the concept of 7 generations, things like that. That concept, right? 7 generations.
No.
The Native American philosophy that, whenever you're making a decision that's going to impact your entire environment, that you consider the impact through 7 generations, in your decision-making process.
No.
So you just realize what you do now is going to affect the future.
It's going to affect your grandkids and your grandkids' grandkids and your grandkids' grandkids' grandkids. You have to think it through, for long-term solutions as to short-term Band-Aid effects,
So to make changes and stuff, do you think is best would be to how do you educate, or is it education for the up and coming people, and then to get, if they're gonna be trying to is it voting, getting educated on the political process, or is it just getting politicians educated that are up and coming, or what? Does anybody have anything to chime in about that, Tony or Betsy?
Well, one of the things that I want to say real quickly, because I don't want to, I'm sure Betsy, maybe you should go first on that. You want to? I mean, I don't want to.
Go ahead.
I was going to say just really quickly that we have kind of 300 years, or we have bicentennials, we have 300 years of transparency now. And a lot more history involved in organized societies anthropologically. So the thing about it is so what we have to come to terms with is now we have to see the natural course of human interaction with genocides. We not only in slavery is quite large worldwide, but we have to come to terms with a sort of a knowledge base that we can reflect that even though we emancipated slavery to a certain extent, on some other level, Lincoln went on to sign many bills that slaughtered thousands of different people. So, we have to we can't just say it's all over, because you can go back 300, 200 years and hold people accountable for atrocities. When it comes to world consciousness, you really don't want to be killing off, peoples in sort of genocidal fashion. We're aware of this now. We're aware of what happens in slavery in the United States. We're aware of the different what we did to the Native American. We were aware of this, and so everybody's go, oh, don't sweat it now. It's all over with. Get a grip on reality. It's not now, but it's like people need to be aware of these things, you know?
But like for change, does it start like voting as far as like local, like city, county, state, or federal, like or just education and stuff like that, educating people that are, the youth and whatnot.
I would say both. After Trump got elected, sorry, I keep talking about it, but it was so traumatic to me. Everybody said we have to start voting locally, and we have to start voting to get them out, and do it on a local level, moving towards a federal level. But I mean, it seems to me that if you look at like what was happening in Washington 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, whenever it was, there were so many uneducated, unthinking people who believe that to think is elitist for some reason. So I'm really into the changing the school system so that people aren't taught that they're stupid in school, so that people realize that everybody is talented in their own way, and then at the same time working on politics so that we can get some people like AOC in there. I mean, I love her so much. I mean, I feel like there's hope for the country because of people like her. And like the 22-year-old who spoke at the inauguration, did you guys hear her?
I didn't hear the poem.
Yes. She's so
I got it.
amazing.
I missed it, but I didn't. Right, I heard about it though.
You can hear it
Yeah.
on YouTube.
She's a joy.
Yeah, definite joy. And
Yeah.
she's 22, and that gives me hope.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I just, just all I can see, just commenting on what you were saying about education. I had to deal with that because Justin and I, we kind of live in Trump country here a little bit. We, and the fact being that they may feel like they got cheated election. One, because a lot of people here, myself included, felt intimidated by the Trump voters to keep from putting a Biden sign in our front yard.
That was true here. I live in Gloucester, the same thing. I was afraid.
And once you're afraid of your neighbors, that they're going to do you violence or do you harm because of your political beliefs, there's something wrong with that picture. Now, look at the followers, because I've had to come to grips with that because I've always been a advocate for peace and all those kind of things. But it's difficult in this scenario to especially with the hardcore Trump leaders, because I look at them as either three things: one, being gullible; two, delusional; or three, corrupt. Because certainly these politicians that are in Washington that are still saying, the election was stolen, they certainly know better. And there's the only thing that's fueling that narrative is corruption, And until we call them on that corruption, including their followers, that use that corruption to validate their racism, to validate, all methods of hate, that's a corruption, not necessarily ignorance, it's using that for bad ends. You know what I mean? That's my opinion, at least. So, but we can hope for the best. We can hope that people understand that, we our children deserve better than for us to destroy this, beautiful creation, that's come along, and that we're going to require some real leadership, and hopefully this new administration is going to have that.
Right. It's scary how many people voted for Trump, how close it was. We can't forget about that. We have to.
Absolutely not. If it wouldn't have been for COVID, he might have won again.
Yeah.
And
it's terrifying.
And just because, I mean, like what I was saying earlier about the yard signs, That's not a good, that's not a peaceful society when you've got, when it's neighbor against neighbor. Of course, now we're moving on without that being solved. And I saw something today and something on television that said, divided we stand. And that's kind of true. We still, we're, democracy is still standing, but
Yeah.
we are still divided. And until, we provide accountability and don't let up the pressure on those that, have been, basically trying to undermine democracy, and undermine these United States of America. There's no other way to classify it, yeah, it might have been rebellion light or whatever, or, or some confederacy of dunces, whatever you want to call it. It was still wrong, illegal. And, I believe in dissent. I think dissent is American as apple pie, but unfortunately so is violence and racism, and we kind of had that all together in one at the Capitol, and that's not right, so there's got to be some accountability. Otherwise we're going to have some real problems in this century that, are going to be real problematic for our kids and grandkids, that
Yeah.
I'm concerned about it.
Hey Heidi.
I would like to say just one thing really quickly, if I could.
Justin.
If I could just say one thing really quickly, I just say it's very hard nowadays for me to identify myself with the Viking Hjordsman.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, I mean, it's like it's a weird sort of sensibility to plunder the capital
Yeah.
by way of swing.
Can you see Tony in one of those hats with his face painted?
I mean, I'm taking the capital. I mean, come on. It's like,
Hey, can I ask a musical question? Well, it's actually not a musical. How did you get the name Tony Martini Band?
It's Tony's Martini Club.
Oh, whoops. Tony's Martini Club.
So my whole idea when I sort of put this thing together was that it would be Tony and I kind of as a core, and then we would invite different musicians in to play with us, which is kind of what's happened. We had another friend who came over. He's a singer and a guitar player, and we were sort of brainstorming what should our so that's where the club was. I wanted.
Yeah.
So we were brainstorming names, and I had my first martini with Tony, and at the time, this martini thing, this martini kick. Every time this guy came over, we'd all have a martini, and it was great.
So I have
and so
go on.
he said, "Well, how about Martini Club?" So that's where the name came from.
It's great. It's wonderful.
It's a good name. It really is. I didn't think of it. My other buddy thought, but
yeah,
it worked out. This is my latest project,
and I really enjoy it because it's like us as a core, sort of, and we just go out as an individual most of the time, a lot of the time, but then we invite different vocalists, or this summer we played with a harmonica player, a couple, and we player, a flautist. We've had different people kind of come and go, and it's been, it's just fun that way. That way it's a little different all the time, and I really enjoy it.
I have a question for you, Heidi, and then one for Tony. So Tony, get prepared to answer something. But take a couple sips, and take a couple breaths, deep breaths. But Heidi, so like you're the only one that we haven't really chimed. You haven't really chimed in much because I've been kind of directing it towards others. But so like for the future leaders, like how do they do it? How do they get informed? How do they get educated? What's your opinion on for like you think the general public should be informed more, or is it like people that are wanting to do politics need to get informed, and if so, like how are they going to do that and whatnot? Like what's your take on this whole like conversation that we've been having?
I'm with Betsy. I mean, I really try actually not to get super political publicly because, I don't want to be divisive, but I definitely have my own, thoughts. um, but I'm with Betsy. I think if you were to break down sort of the main problem and why things have broken down politically, it goes down to the education system here. I think that
That's very true.
people
Yes,
are
Betsy, that's a good
very,
point.
very, very uneducated, and they're taught that they can't know certain things. They can't
Right.
understand certain things. My son, when he was in um, when he was in kindergarten or first grade, um, was put in the dumb kids reading class. My son is brilliant, but he was put in the dumb kids reading class because he was told he was reading slower than everybody else. So I brought him home and I started homeschooling him. And within a year, he was reading at, third grade level, fourth grade level.
Wow.
I just, you know, we hold our children back with the
Yeah.
system that we have right now. And then they grow into adults who have been held back their entire lives. So they're they're just not educated enough to understand, or they're told that that's for the elite people. That's for the smart people. You don't have to worry about it. So I think if we're really to make big changes politically in this country, it needs to start with the education of our children.
Nice. All right.
And that's a complicated thing because you look at how education's funded. It's funded generally from property taxes. So if you live in an area that has a lot of big, expensive homes, they have nicer schools. So income equality plays into education as well and how those systems are funded throughout the nation. So
We're not
it's
gonna,
complicated.
we're not going to have smart politicians, and we're not going to have smart citizens unless we have smart children.
I
So,
agree. I
um,
agree with that. The question is what's smart? It's like, just a couple of days ago, or actually the day of the inauguration, the whitehouse.gov, I'd been subscribed to that through Obama. And when it transitioned from Obama to Trump, there was no change. It just suddenly, it was still whitehouse.gov, but it was Trump's whitehouse.gov, not Obama's. But when Trump left, the site went down. It's the Trump White House website, and I was hooked up to the Trump White House, and they're going to retell history in their own way, just like he did in real time right in front of us. He's going to be spewing alternative history, for as long as he can, and
fair.
and
To be
who's
fair,
who.
we've been taught alternative history for 200
That's
years.
true. That I
So,
agree. I agree. I agree. So
you know,
we've got to have a more scholarly take on history, no doubt about it.
Thing is that if you look at, let me just interject here. If you look at the idea of something, what is so, in order for a conservancy to develop, you sort of have to. So when a society comes into a conservancy in this way, the whole idea of anything liberal is an abrasion to your accomplishments just by nature. So if you're holding something together, like let's say you've solidified and designed a certain business or even a software and it works a certain way, you want to hold to those working because the thing works well. Then conservancy, there's a lot of sort of developmental aspects to that way of thinking. So anything liberal, it's a big difference between the idea of something that is progressive, and now you have a barrage of new technologies, new inventions, and the original investors have to figure out new ways of culminating and reinventing themselves, in a way. So it's a very complicated process, and you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I think For one thing, we immediately have to take back the term conservative. They don't deserve it and haven't earned it.
I mean, mentally, it's interesting to see, for instance, Mitch McConnell
yeah,
suddenly come out. It makes you feel as if he was just using Trump because he's old enough to have seen it all before.
he was playing
History
the game. He was
itself,
playing the
and
game, you
Trump
know.
was very manipulatable. As
Yeah,
long as he was willing to accomplish and get the bills passed, and he had
yeah.
the energy. But in the end, he's a traitor to everybody.
Well, I don't know. I have a weird take on this. I look at
This is
one
an
of
I don't mean to get so heavy, but go ahead.
the,
Sorry.
one of the unsung heroes, I think, is Jeff Sessions. Believe it or not, when he recused himself, that was an act of patriotism, as far as I'm concerned.
That was very interesting. I agree.
Yeah, and that the system, as flawed as it is, did everything in its power, from the Democrats to the Mitch McConnells, to hobble this guy, because he was having his way with the system and taking advantage of every rule and tradition that he could, because he could break the rules and traditions. It was the laws that he had to be careful. And you'll notice none of them said that it was a fixed election under oath. Rudy Giuliani or any of his mouthpieces, none of them took an oath. I think the oath should be re-examined. I think all of those people, Mitch McConnell, they should all have to stand on the steps of the Capitol and retake their oaths, to restore trust in government, Republican, Democrat alike, standing
That
up there in the public eye on
Yeah,
national television. Each one of them, one at a time, come up and say their oath, and us hear them say those words, and then hold them accountable for that oath. That's
well,
life.
along with education, we should earmark what you just said, along with what Betsy said and Heidi about we need to upgrade education. We
Yeah.
need commitment.
Well, those are people talk about social system. I always say the holy trinity of social programs is education, healthcare, and law enforcement, to include military. Those three things are social programs that are necessary for a functioning society. They really are. But nobody, they
And
always.
other than that, they throw us to the wolves.
There's a guy who's written pretty extensively on populism. His name's Thomas Frank. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he just wrote a book on populism. This is something that's been going on since the 1890s. That anytime anybody is a populist, the machine was kind of holding them down. The weird thing about Trump is he kind of came out like he was a populist, but didn't do anything populist at all as far as his actions. His words, got the working class in the rural areas to support him, but none of his actions or anything he did benefited working people. It was the weirdest thing.
This goes back to what when I talk about
Yeah,
education,
yeah,
you can teach any kid their times tables, but when I talk about education, I'm also talking about teaching kids how to think for themselves. When
critical reasoning, and
I
yeah,
homeschooled my son, I homeschooled him until junior high, and
yeah,
my entire point as I didn't care if he learned his times tables, or learned handwriting, or learned this or that. We just read and read and read and read and read.
yeah,
I taught him how to learn,
yeah,
because teach kids how to learn, then they can think for themselves, and they can study for themselves, and they can make decisions for themselves. And that's what's missing in our education system. It's not necessarily the times tables and the science and the history and the this and that. It's more, we need to teach people how to think.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to play a song and then we'll get some more into the discussion because we got Tony with the guitar on his lap for a while.
What's that?
Tony, do you want to play a song? Is that what
I
you're
know.
trying
I'm
to
sorry.
say?
If you guys want us to play,
we're here at a music podcast talking about politics. I mean,
It's all right. It's all right. I have some more questions, but yeah, play a little bit, play a tune or two, and then we can continue on. I have a couple more questions I didn't get to ask yet, um, and uh, and all that.
All right. We do a Ray Charles tune for you.
Let me turn this thing off.
All right. We have this Ray Charles tune.
So basically, teach the kids Ray Charles tunes. Is that what your main?
Totally. Yeah, that was all of society.
Hold on, lady.
What if we just educated through song, educated through music and arts?
Yeah, now you're talking.
Right?
But how do we do that? How do we do that, Betsy?
Homeschool. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know whether it can be done with like, elementary schools as they are now.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
All right, take it away, Heidi.
Betsy, if are you into classic movies at all?
Am I into what movies?
Classic movies.
Yeah.
I would suggest if you could stream or you look up, it's great. It's wonderfully entertaining. Just see a movie, Anti-Mame.
Oh God.
Okay. Here, I'll write it down.
Anti-Mame, the original.
Yeah.
I forgot who the actress was, but it's a wonderful movie. You should see it.
Okay.
A lot about education. Although you might have to weed it out of the plot. It's very good.
Well, thanks.
All right, take it away.
Rosalind Russell was in that movie.
Is that about right? Unchain my heart, baby. Unchain my heart. You don't care about me. You got me sewed up like a pillowcase. Let my love go to waste. Unchain my heart, baby, set me free. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, some girl tells me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart, baby, leave me alone. There you go. Monday you spend, I'm a girl in a trance, and I know darn well that I don't stand a chance. Unchain my heart, let me go away. Unchain my heart, worry me night and day. Lead me through this life of misery. You don't care a bag of dreams for me, so unchain my heart, baby, set me free. I'm a girl in the train, saying oh darn well that I don't stand a chance. Unchain my heart, let it go that way. Unchain my heart, worry me night and day. While running through this life of misery, a bag of beans for me, so unchain my heart, it's it way. Take me out.
Yeah. Crazy. That was awesome. Wait, so that was Ray Charles original?
Yeah, I believe
I
so.
don't know the history of the tune, but I know that he did it. I think that is his tune, but I wouldn't know. You know, just
So
I would. I've got you. Let's see who. Written by Bobby Sharp and first recorded in '61 by Ray Charles, in '63 by Trini Lopez, and later by many others.
yeah.
wow.
Sharp, a drug addict at the time, sold the song to Teddy Powell for $50.
Hmm.
Powell demanded half the songwriting credit.
There you go.
So yeah, it was written by Bobby Sharp.
Yep.
Hmm.
Performed by Tony's Martini Club.
It's awesome though. I like that song. You know, I don't know. I'm a Grateful Dead fan, so that actually almost sounds like a Dead song or something. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tony, you like the Grateful Dead?
What's that?
You like the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia?
You know, you know, it's interesting. Being a swing player and kind of blues player. I mean, I know there are a lot of different mediums to play the blues. You know, I do. I went to I think I've been to maybe in my entire life like 3 Dead concerts, but I don't really remember them. I have to admit, but
That can happen at a blues concert too.
enjoyable medium. You know, if you ever, you know, sometimes you'll see like somebody that listens to jazz and somebody like a couple of girls will be dancing in the audience. You know how that happens at Dead concerts or whatever. People start dancing anyway. So the swing dancer is like flat-footed this way, and the rock dancer is going like this. So it's interesting to see this motion. Never mind, forget it. But it's a
Well,
fascinating between that kind of rock and blues and jazz in a way. It's a you know, I mean, there's similarities too. I just being humorous, but anyway.
So Tony, is it
well,
the
they say rock and jazz had no, the blues and jazz had a baby, and they named it rock and roll.
Right. But it's to see the vertical and horizontal style. It's just work. It just it happens.
well,
Sometimes I can't explain it. It
well,
just
I've been to Dead concert. I don't remember them pogoing, but I do remember the twirlers.
yeah.
so Tony, is it the blues that keeps you young, or do you work out? What is it like? What's your secret?
Oh, for myself, you know, I can't say. You know,
Are
that's
you
a
a vegan? Are you what are you?
you know I just I don't know. I drink. I
It's all the
guess
martinis.
I drink. So
He's
I can't.
pickled.
That's the way it is. And
It's the music. I think it's the music that keeps you young or something. Probably, I'm guessing.
well, I have a. You know what it is? I have a lot of poignancy. I have a lot of I sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I go, God damn it. I am not I just I've got to get like I gotta just at least get, do more. You can only sit around so long without just always having to try to, you know, get better at what you do in a way. Not better, but just integrated more somehow. It's really you to play
He's
guitar,
he's
right?
fairly active. I mean, he lives out here on 50 acres
Oh,
and
wow.
is plowing and walks down the road every day, and I mean, he stays, you
I
know,
just assume be in Albuquerque right now. All right,
right?
believe
Yeah,
me.
that's
So
Is
wait, you never,
JC still in Albuquerque?
I want to take
Tony?
Uber to the jam sessions, and I don't want to think about it. I want to drink, have a couple of cocktails at the bar.
you don't need
Hey,
Uber.
guys, I think I'm the oldest one here. Okay, I think I'm probably the oldest one here on this call. So,
All
um,
right.
but
I'm
what you're
pretty
talking
old.
about, huh? No, I
I'm
think
very old.
I got you by a couple years.
I
Uh,
don't think so. Look, I have gray hair.
I'm 65. Okay,
Oh,
so I've got you by a couple years at least, huh?
2 years.
Huh?
Yep, two
See, I get.
years.
All right. So, but the thing is, what you're talking about, Heidi, is what I was talking to my son about is mobility. Mobility meaning motion. Whether how you're able to move, and I was just talking about life in general. About trying to stay in shape and all those kind of things, and it's just sometimes it's just the little things of being for motion and being able to move, and I think a lot of that comes through stretching and just being active, like you're saying, getting out on 50 acres and walking around. That's a big deal. But when you can't do that, that's a bigger deal. So just maintaining mobility, through stretching or yoga or whatever, it's essential, I think, to keep your mind
I think I would.
what's that?
Yeah, I was going to say I would put that in the category of a less encumbered lifestyle.
There you go. And by the way, this is kombucha, not beer. I'm drinking mushroom
Wait,
tea.
wait.
Kombucha.
Oh, good deal. I just
Kombucha.
do,
I can't find the camera, but there it is.
There it
was
is.
that your iPhone plugged into one of those Zoom mics I've seen? Is that what
Yeah.
the? I remember the.
Oh, this is a Tascam. This is a Tascam. It's just a field recording device. I
I've
use
seen.
it.
I didn't think that was a phone. Yeah. I thought that was a. How many years old is that? That's got to be.
It's new this year. I bought it online. And I use it. I've been recording like ocean sounds, and
Oh,
this spring I'm going to be doing bird calls. Just doing sounds in nature. I've done rivers and waterfalls and ocean right now. That's kind of been focusing on water sounds, but just a field recording thing. But lately, I just leave it on a lot.
I love digital recorders. They have no signal rate, no noise ratio. It's fucking amazing.
And the memory cards are fairly cheap, and this little tiny thing right there is 32 bytes. It lasts forever. It's easy to. The medium's really easy.
It's
I
a
don't know how
nice.
good they are for music though. I don't know. I don't know that the fidelity is good enough for like recording music. I would think a laptop would be better for something like that. I don't know, but it works. Seems
Yep,
to
no,
work.
so you have a well, Betsy. I think you were gonna chime in with something. You were gonna ask Tony about something. It was like about was something about the.
Oh, when you said Albuquerque, I wanted to know whether JC still lives in Albuquerque.
I was living. Are you still there? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. JC is in Albuquerque. I this must be your cat.
Yes, that's my cat. What?
What's your cat's name?
Beautiful.
I think that's a good name for a cat. My
Right.
brother, Albuquerque's a great place.
Is your mother?
My brother's there. Yes.
Oh, yeah. And you lived there for a while, right?
What's that? I've been out. I've been there quite a lot of time over the past many years. I love Albuquerque. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And as soon as this COVID thing, last time I was there was like 3 years ago. So I finally went back out there after a long period of time, and I went to jam sessions with this Uptown Sound in Bernalillo. You know, I went downtown, but they make too much noise. I'm just the uptowns. I mean, it was like, everything was loud, like super. Everybody's so energetic. I'm going, oh, geez, I'm too old for this. So I had to go on. But there was an upright bass player, a baritone sax player, this tenor guy that played trumpet as well as he did tenor. It was like amazing. I had such a good time. I stayed with my friend Charlie. I hadn't seen him in years, and anyway, that's just a long story. So sorry, guys.
Wait, once COVID is over, I'm coming up to visit you guys.
Well, I hope you will. Well, we'll be in touch, I think, soon, Betsy. We'll just have to talk more readily on a secure line.
Tony, and Heidi, are you gonna be ready to tour out to California?
Let's go on tour, man.
I'm too old for that. If it happens, it depends on the budget. I could sustain something like that if I really had to.
All right.
Load up the van.
All right, you want to do it? You want to do a tune, Heidi?
You want us?
Tune?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, play a tune.
Yeah, Nora Jones. Let me pull it up on my thing here. Hold on. My fingers are cold though.
Yeah, we'll get over it.
I know.
And then we got to give you a break so you guys can go get some dinner. I know it's getting dinner time over there. It probably passed dinner time. Did you eat dinner? If you didn't, I'm gonna be mad if you didn't eat dinner because of this.
I had sort of a late lunch. He made me a late lunch when I got here, and so, but we'll have something to eat after we're done here.
So it's like,
and then we'll maybe join your open mic later.
So it's like already 8:00 over there.
I don't know what time is it. It's 7:15.
And you didn't eat dinner yet.
No, but I had a late lunch, so I'm alright. Don't worry.
What about Tony, I'm sorry that we didn't let you eat dinner.
No.
I got it together.
Tony understands that a hungry Heidi is not a good thing, so he's got it under control. Well, he'll make me a steak after this.
All right, do a tune, and then we'll probably call it. Maybe a couple last questions.
There we go. Wait till I saw the sun. Don't know why I didn't go. Left you by the house of fun. Don't know why I didn't go. Don't know why I didn't go. When I saw the breaking day, wish that I could fly away. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand. Heart is drenched in white. You'll be on my mind. in the sea. I was dying in ecstasy. Puddle pink bag of bones, driving down the road home. Heart is drenched in high. You'll be on my Something has to make you run. Don't know why I didn't come back. Feel as empty as a drum. Don't know why I didn't come back. Don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.
That was awesome.
Maria Muldaur.
What
Who
was
was
that?
Yes.
that? Was it Maria Muldaur?
No, but I know yeah, that no, but no, that wasn't that. This who
Nora
was it?
Jones.
Nora Jones. Yeah.
Laura Jones. That's right. Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, any last questions for Tony's Martini Club and Heidi
And Heidi.
before they go eat a steak?
By the way, so much. I've enjoyed tonight a lot. Thank you for featuring us.
Anytime.
Okay,
Yeah.
it seems to be a very national event because Betsy's here, and I would have never dreamed that in a million years. So I'm just awestruck. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Stuff.
Awesome.
Right. Any questions though for the Martini Club?
When are you going to be back on? When's your next performance? We don't
We
know.
know.
They
Do
do
you
some
know?
open mics. They do open mics here and there. They're gonna try to come back to my open mic tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when it starts. But it goes late, so you can hop
Yeah.
on whenever you want to. Or we have another one tomorrow, another open mic at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you're able to, both of you are more than welcome to come on. And or we do them quite often. I don't know.
Send me the alert like you did tonight. If you send me the alert like you did tonight, now that I've figured out how to get on the darn thing, at least I can come.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for your technical advice. I actually kind of was a kind of a request to the knowledge base somehow that I would be returned that I should get some sort of a mic with a proprietary software and it would control things. And
Yeah.
that was you never.
So we'll
There's
try
not
to
enough description out there, and
we'll
then
try to order one of those. Maybe you'll
Sure. Sure microphones. They're, I got it at Guitar Center.
just told me what it did in the first sentence.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
No, that's okay. It has the software and it has great recording, as you
Yeah.
do the whole bit, so.
Well, I appreciate you all for sticking on so long. I didn't expect. I thought we were gonna go like 30 minutes, like from 2 to 2:30. But
So much. This is
This
awesome.
guy can talk, I'm telling you.
I'm sorry, guys. You had to put up with me, though.
no, that was really good content. Like we got some good stuff, and we could all watch it back again on the rerun of the Facebook Live and whatnot. So.
Oh no, you're kidding me. Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all documented, and so yeah.
oh
Good stuff. Yeah, you're always welcome to come back or whenever you can. And yeah, any last words? Anybody?
No,
Betsy?
just thank you. Thanks so much for
Thank
having
you, Justin.
us. This has
Thank
been
you.
Yes, and thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Heidi and Tony. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And Justin, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
And thanks, Justin.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
very
And
much.
Tony and Heidi, I'll be talking to you.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
message him on Facebook, Betsy, so you stay connected and everything. But yeah, everyone have a good evening, and I'll
All right.
hopefully see you soon.
All right.
Yeah.
See you.
Okay.
All right, peace. Thank you all. All right, have a good one. Later, later, later.